Welcome to Busy Bee Living. Today we are not in the shop. We are actually in the basement. We're going to put together the Yukon 48-inch multi-purpose workbench with LED light. And the purpose of that is we've already put one together and we're going to put a second one over here. Now, is this workbench meant for like a heavy duty all go in? Not really, but for the price that you can get for it, it is perfect for the utility room and that DIYer that does stuff every once in a while. But there were a few things in this last build when I put this thing together that could have saved me some time if the instructions were a little more clear, or let's face it, if I would have read them better. But we are going to dive in this video. You can watch this and you can avoid those and make it a quick, easy, simple project. All right, without that being said, let's get into it. I don't know, Michael does that all the time. Seems to work for him. You get your accessory packet out here, and they're clearly labeled. I don't know if you can see that. The A's, B's, C's, and D's. B's are going to be the main ones that you use for this project. So that one we're going to want to get out for sure. And then we can put the rest aside for later on in the assembly. And to get you guys started in the build, what you're going to need is, one, you might need a fancy little work light if you're working in a utility room like that just doesn't have the lighting that's applicable to putting things together. Obviously a Phillips head screwdriver, and then you're going to need a 10mm socket. Now we have the fancy Icon kit here, and what we're just going to do is we're going to take the screwdriver portion out, get the attachment, we're going to dig out our 10mm, which surprisingly is not missing, and let's see, right off the bat we grab the 10. We're going to need that guy. The rest of the kit we don't need. And do yourself a favor, get some of these, because if you lose any of these pieces, the last one I put together, I had one extra of the screws A, B, C, and D, and that was it. There was no extra clips for the light itself, so if you lose those, it's not good. So get a few of these. They're like a couple bucks a piece, and it'll save you a headache because you know exactly where the hardware is. They stay in that magnetic set, and you can actually stick it right to the legs of the material you're working on. So do that. And one other one I might have been missing is something to cut your zip ties. I just have my Leatherman that I always have on me, but you can use scissors, actual snips, whatever. Just something to make the unboxing a little easier. Okay, so first step, super easy. We are going to attach the 1s and 2s using the 4 crossbar. Now you can see this has multiple holes on the bottom. This is the number 2. This is actually the taller piece. As you can see, this will become the back of the cabinet. So not really something you have to worry about at this point, because we're just putting together the bottom, but you need to be aware of that when you put the top together, because there is a power strip and you want that to land on the correct side that you want it on. More importantly, there is a bottom. They only have the 2 holes, so make sure that those are the ones that you're putting the 4s in, and then we'll worry about these multiple holes in the next step. And another important thing is the 4s, the sidebars. Everything, including the top portions, you want that lip to be upwards on the top. It is not inverted. You would think, saying that the shelf might sit on top of that. That's not correct. It's actually inverted up, and then they have the screw holes to attach the shelves to. So remember that if it does have a lip, that goes up, and that'll help you with the process. Now step 2 is attaching the long number 5s to the base, and then we're going to attach it through the fronts this time using the same, what was that, B's that you use pretty much on all of this to attach this. And then we can really start constructing the actual shape of the bench. So we're going to probably move this into the next room. Now at this point that we have the base assembled, we can flip it up, there we go, up on its side, and just slap these plastic little footies in, and they just slide on, super easy. All right, so now here is where it becomes important to remember what's the front and what's the back. Remember, the short side's the front. We're gonna run the cross beams here, the top 2 on the front and the middle 2 on the back portion, because that's where the upper portion attaches here. So we just want to go right in the middle. The important part about remembering that that's the back is because there is a built-in power strip, and whether you want it on the left side or the right side, or, well, whichever way you're looking at it, whatever side you want it on, you want to make sure that you remember the back side here, so you put it on the proper side. This one, since we have the other bench with the power strip on the right hand side facing it, we want the power strip on this side, so when we push the 2 together, that is accessible on either bench. So again, we're going to be using the 4 cross beam piece. Remember that lip side goes up, but remember this one with the built-in side, that has to do with which side you want the access to the power strip. So this one, we are actually going to go reverse from the instructions and put it on this side right here. All right, so now we're on to the cross beams for the top portion, and they're both labeled 6, but one has the advertisement / warning label. That is the one that's supposed to go in the front. Remember, lip up. Don't want to do reverse of that. All right, so now we're going to put the L brackets in the middle, but one thing to think about is the back one is actually a little bit taller. That way it can get the backboard put into it. But that one actually goes on the outside, on the back side of the crossbar. The inner one actually goes on the inside with the tube and underneath that lip. So that's what you're going to want to do, and you're going to want to remember. Don't put it on the outside, put it on the inside. So now here's where I actually jump in a little bit and do it a little different. I'm going to put the cross brackets on the upwards on the back on first. One thing to think about though is, see these little holes? Those need to go on the back side of the brackets, because that's going to hold together that back mount piece. As you can see in the background, that pegboard gets screwed into there. So don't do what I did and put it on like that, and then your bracketing piece is not on right and you have to take the whole thing apart. So pretty much we're going to do that right there and that right there. Oh, and again, these are going on the inside of that outer frame, so we're going to put them on the inside of that. The other thing is, we are going to bracket them from the outer edge, not from the back, but from the side, because these again will be receiving bolts that go through both of these and the pegboard to hold in place. And this is the perfect example of why watching this video would be helpful. especially since I've already built this once and I still made another mistake. See right here, the hole doesn't line up. See? That is because I put the right on the left side and the left on the right side, and now I'm gonna have to take the whole top off, flip these, and do it all over again. So don't do it. By the way, when it says R, okay, that means the right side when you're looking at it, not when you're facing away from it. Hope that clears it up. So the next step that we're going to take is we're actually going to put the sliders in. Now, remember, when you put these in, these sliding brackets, see how there's space back here? That is the back side. This is the front side. So this would mount over here on that. And then the centerpiece, obviously, you can't really mess that one up. But we're going to go ahead and get those put in here properly. There is indicators, for left and right, but it's pretty self-explanatory on this. Just the big important piece is make sure that your slider is in the front. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the back cross bracket. Now they're labeled 16. There's a 16B and a 16F. Obviously the B is in the back. That's important because we need these little drill out holes to accept the pegboard back. But remember, once again, there's that little lip, and that's going to go up. That way we can put the pegboard in properly. The other thing is there's 3 holes here on these edges. We're only going to put it in the top one for now because this bottom one is actually going to accept a different bolt that's a little bit longer to go through this back bracket, and the pegboard, and then will give us enough screw exposure to get that bolt put down. So don't do the bottom one. We're just going to do the top one. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the upper cross brackets for that top shelf up. There are 17. There is an R and an L. To be honest, they are pretty much the exact same. So whether you put it on one side or the other, it doesn't affect it too much. The important part is, again, to make sure that little, I'm going to say it a bunch of times, make sure that that little lip is pointed upward. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the front piece in and just bracket it right here. Now everything's kind of loose. We'll get that worked out here in a little bit. Make sure it's all nice and square, and then tighten it all down. So now we're going to attach the pegboard back. Now these cutouts here, these go up top, which definitely gives you the correct alignment for the holes, as the bottom only has one hole in the middle and then on the edges. But this is also why we left that one, if you remember, on the top portion of this back bracket here, we did not put a bolt in there because these take the C packet bolts, which are slightly longer because it's got to go through 2 of the brackets as well as the pegboard and give us enough thread to get a nice tight finish in there. So we're going to go ahead and attach those. All right, so now you can see pretty much everything's assembled. Off camera, what I did is I tightened down all the bolts just to make sure it's nice and tight, because by this point, we're pretty much done. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to add the tops to the top shelf, the actual bench and the lower shelf, and then insert our drawers lastly. We're going to put the drawers in last because that will give us enough access, easier access to put in the screws for all the top surface on the bench. Now these are going to use these longer D screws, and you should have plenty of them to complete this task. One thing to think about though is there is a specific one that is drilled out for the top of the bench and one that is drilled out for the bottom. When you're looking for the one that goes on the bottom, it's only going to have 2 screws on each of the sides, where the top's going to have screw holes for the front, sides, and the back pre-drilled. So before you insert the piece in there, look for those pieces. All right, so we are literally at the last step. All we gotta do is mount these clips here and these mini screws. There's 2 small holes on the bottom portion of this shelf here, and I'm gonna try to video that as best as possible so you can see those. But pretty much what we wanna do is we just wanna make sure that the clip is facing this way. Can you see that? Not that way, this way. And then the light just fits right into the clamp, and then we can run the plug from there, drop it down, and hook it up into our light strip there. So let's get it. We almost forgot. We still got to put those drawers in. And there you got it. Bench all put together, things on it, and it's good to go. No, I'm just kidding. It's still right there. But it is late at night, and I will get the rest of this cleaned out tomorrow and then set up, and then I'll show some after pictures right here. But hopefully this video did help you guys out on avoiding some of the mistakes that I've made with the left and the right side. Apparently that's specific. Even these top brackets that I was thinking weren't, it was easily just rotating the top around, and the front and the back of the top didn't make a difference. But avoiding having to take apart because we missed, you know, a single bolt down here or something like that. Different little things that I came across when the first time I did it and the second time I did it. So if I ever buy one again in the future, hopefully it goes smoother, but hopefully yours goes super smooth and you can have a nice little workbench for, you know, your utility area. And well, that being said, thanks for buzzing by, and I'll let you get to it.